Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to What the Hell is a Catch in the NFL? And I am your host, the diligent, vigilant, meticulous, sagacious, conscientious, analytical, methodical individual. I am the Chiseled Adonis. And I've come here to deduce if Jesse James, the tight end of the Pittsburgh Steelers, did indeed catch the ball this past Sunday. Let's get right into it.
According to the NFL rulebook, the art of completing a catch is 1. The motherfucker must control the pass. 2. Once control is established, the motherfucker must get both feet or body part other than the hand on the ground. 3. The motherfucker must maintain control of the football long enough to become a runner. If the 3 of these do not happen, this now means that the motherfucker does not complete all 3 elements of the pass and it is incomplete.
Seems pretty simple, does it not? What was that? Gosh golly, Chiseled Adonis. What about if it's on the sideline? What if it's in the end zone? You can't become a runner then. How can you complete the catch? Well, I'm here to answer the question for you. You know, whenever they say, let's go to New York and hear what the officials have to say, they're talking about Mr. Mike Pereira.
This motherfucker here,
the vice president of officiating in the National Football League. According to his Twitter, this is what he has to say about when this takes place by the sideline, in the field of play, or in the end zone.
a motherfucker is considered to be going to the ground if he does not remain upright long enough to demonstrate that he is clearly a runner. If a motherfucker goes to the ground in the act of completing a pass with or without contact by another motherfucker, this motherfucker must maintain control of the ball until his initial contact with the ground, whether in the field of play or in the end zone. If this motherfucker loses control of the ball and the ball touches the ground before he regains control, the pass is incomplete. But if this motherfucker regains control of the ball prior to touching the ground, the pass is indeed complete.
Now let's take a look to see what began the whole "what is a catch? What is not a catch?" ordeal in the NFL. We turn our cameras to 2010 in Soldier Field, Chicago, where Calvin Johnson for the Detroit Lions was going up to make the game-winning catch against the Chicago Bears, and evidently it seems it was ruled incomplete. Let's take a look at the film.
The time was 2010. Calvin Johnson whispered in the ear of a Bears defender, "Hold my nuggets, suck my dick," for the game-winning touchdown. He goes all the way to the ground, maintains possession as his buttocks touches the ground. However, the ball makes contact with the ground after he touches the ground with his booty, and it seems the zebras say, "No catch."
Easy to understand, right? Wrong!
This motherfucker here clearly got 2 feet down and the ball makes contact with the ground, but that's a Chargers touchdown. In 2013 in a playoff game, Jermaine Gresham catches the ball by the sideline, but does not maintain control to the ground, but that's a completion. 1 year later, Des Bryant makes this beautiful catch, establishes possession, 2 feet on the ground, leaps forward, which would be constituted as a football move, but it's incomplete.
Well, I am astonished. Are you perplexed? Well, I am flabbergasted at what I just saw. Exactly what is a catch? Mr. Mike Pereira, can you explain it?
Please tell me how that makes sense. Des Bryant play rule rewritten. New word like initial contact with ground. Football move is gone. Bottom line, it's clearly incomplete.
Easy to understand, right? Wrong!
Eli Manning throws the ball to Ruben Randall. He catches the ball, has 3 feet down, loses the ball. It's considered an incompletion. But 1 year later, Golden Tate does the exact same thing, loses possession. It's intercepted. However, this is called a motherfucking touchdown. Make that shit make sense. Mike Pereira agrees that the officials got it wrong and the call should have been reversed. However, if you break down what he says something extremely important here. He says that if you catch and fumble the ball inside the end zone, it will be considered a touchdown by whoever recovers it. Keep this in mind. And this is the incomplete pass to Odell Beckham they were referencing. 2 weeks earlier, Jeremy Maclin made this catch with the ball shifting on the ground in 2015. Mike Pereira says as long as you maintain possession before hitting the ground and the ball does not shift as it hits the ground, it's a catch. Keep this in mind. By Mike Pereira's logic, Devontae Freeman making this catch and leaping towards the end zone would be ruled incomplete, like it was, correct? Correct. Now, Calvin Johnson, same catch, leaping towards the end zone, loses possession while in the end zone, incomplete, right? Correct. So how does Victor Cruz making this catch, turning and then leaping towards the end zone, how's that a touchdown? After the season, Mike Pereira says there was no change to the rule. You still must maintain control after initial contact with the ground. So how was the Victor Cruz catch a touchdown, but Calvin Johnson and Devontae Freeman incomplete? In the 2015 season, Tyler Eifert makes this catch, maintains possession, reaches over for the goal line, loses the ball, that's incomplete. So how the hell does Jordy Nelson the next year make this catch here, does not establish possession, loses the ball within seconds of making the catch? How is that a touchdown? Remember that tweet from Mike Pereira saying that as long as you possess the ball prior to hitting the ground and as long as the ball doesn't shift as it hits the ground, it's a catch? Keep that in mind as Jeff Janis goes up to make this miraculous catch in the playoffs to force overtime against the Cardinals. But if you look, he never once has possession of the ball. It's even punched here and touches the ground, but there's not enough evidence to overturn it, right? He agrees that is a catch. Let's keep that in mind. He agrees this is a catch.
Always the question about catch, no catch. Two good examples. In Kansas City, Harris is going directly to the ground. He must keep the ball all the way through hitting the ground. Forget steps, forget knee. He's going directly to the ground, so he has to hold on to the ball throughout the whole process. It's incomplete.
Incomplete, you say, Mike Pereira. That's funny, because on the field, it was ruled as a fumble, and it was recovered by the Texans. So how was this incomplete? In the exact same season, Xavier Grimble catches the ball from Big Ben, turns towards the end zone, and they call this a touchdown. Mind you, he lost the ball in the end zone, but they call it a touchdown. Let's listen to Mike Pereira.
Grimble, on the other hand, with Pittsburgh, now he has turned, moved upfield, put a hand down, become a runner, and so therefore, since he's completed the process and wasn't going directly to the ground, the lunge into the end zone with the ball breaking the plane means that it's a touchdown. Even though the ball hit the ground in the end zone and popped out, he had become a runner. So when the ball breaks the plane, it is dead. Touchdowns.
So by that exact same logic, Russell Wilson never became a runner because he immediately went to the floor. This should be incomplete, but no, it's a touchdown. Common logic says he was diving towards the end zone, right? But by that same logic, would this not be considered a catch? But Mike Pereira says that's incomplete. In 2016, Mike Pereira puts out this tweet regarding catches. He says he's got the ball, has control, then reaches out for yards. The second act makes it a catch. Hand never comes off of the ball, ball can move. That's a catch. He's referencing two different catches. Now let's go to Jesse James' catch. He has possession, knee on the ground, then lunges. That is a second move, thus making it a catch. Remember that rule saying that you must maintain control of the ball after making contact with the ground. Example A, Brandon Cooks making the game-winning catch against the Texans. 10 toes down, catches the ball, hits contact with the ground, but maintains possession, right? Right. Kareem Hunt last week makes the catch against the Chargers. Maintains possession of the ball, although hitting the ground, but this is deemed incomplete. During this season, Mike Pereira puts out a tweet saying that pretty much if you're stumbling, you have to survive the ground, but if you're upright, you don't. Exhibit C being Julio Jones. He makes this clear catch in the common eye and dives towards the end zone, making that football move to break the plane for a touchdown. However, how do you determine if he was going towards the ground? Is that freakish athletic ability, or is it gravity taking him towards the ground? Then in this tweet, he says going to the ground trumps lunging. Let's listen to a more explained, detailed definition.
There's been so much language in the book and out of the book in terms of this element of time. And really, the element of time does factor in even when you're started to go toward the ground. And that element, you said, make a football move. Well, that was kind of archaic and too gray. But then now it's got a little bit more specific. Turn upfield and reach. Correct. Even if you're headed a bit toward the ground, that's much different than Des Bryant when he's going directly and maybe just extends his forearm out a little bit.
And you have to do the football move or the act common to the game after you've completed the first two requirements, which are control and 2 feet.
Funny you say that, because here's the catch, possession of the catch, a knee equals 2 feet, a football move, that would be a touchdown, correct? However, this man says this now.
Here's the deal. If you're a receiver and you're going to the ground to make the catch, you have to maintain control all the way to the ground. James was a receiver. He was not a runner who had already established possession. So forget about the goal line. The key is survive the ground. He didn't. The ball came loose. Forget about the lunge. Forget about the reach. It's an incomplete pass and the proper application of the rule.
Hold up. But didn't you just say?
You have to do the football move or the act common to the game after you've completed the first two requirements, which are control and 2 feet.
So, by your own logic, this is control, that is a knee down, that's the football move, this is a touchdown. There is no debate.
So, after my long dragged out soliloquy, we have come to the conclusion that the Jesse James catch is indeed a touchdown because the league just said it and confirmed it right there. So me, as a Pittsburgh Steelers fan and a football fan and a former wide receiver in college, I demand justice for what happened on Sunday. Now, if you don't mind, I am going right off into the sunset, and this is TM 44, and I rest my case. This program has been brought to you by Hold My Nuggets Incorporated, and if you're not down with that, I've got 3 words for you. Suck my dick.